On the night she plans to tell her husband she's pregnant, he announces their separation on live television. Nalani Winters stands under white-hot stage lights at Sterling Innovations headquarters. The emerald dress clings to her body, fabric stretched across curves that have changed in ways only she knows. Her hand drifts to her stomach. 10 weeks. She presses fingers against silk, feeling the secret beneath. Camera flashes explode like fireworks. Christmas music drifts from speakers hidden in marble columns. A massive tree towers in the lobby behind them, each ornament stamped with the company logo. Deshawn's hand rests on her back. Not gentle, possessive. Ownership disguised as affection. The room holds its breath. Investors, politicians, celebrities. Everyone who matters in Manhattan packed into this glittering cage of glass and steel. Screens behind them loop footage of their life together, smiling, laughing, kissing, the fairy tale the world believes. This woman, Deshawn says, voice smooth as aged whiskey, has stood by me for 5 years of relentless work, late nights, and sacrifice. Nalani's throat tightens. Maybe this is it. Maybe he saw the pregnancy test she left in the bathroom trash yesterday. Maybe he's about to claim their baby in front of everyone. Make this marriage real again. Hi, viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. She has given me stability, grace, and a beautiful chapter of my life. Deshawn pauses. The crowd leans forward. And so tonight feels like the right moment to share that Nalani and I have decided to amicably separate in the new year. Silence crashes over the room like a wave. Nalani's vision blurs. The words don't connect to reality. Can't connect. Behind her, screens shift. A prepared statement appears. Professional fonts, carefully chosen words about different paths, and mutual respect. Photos of their wedding flash like ghosts. Her in white, him in a custom suit. Both of them young and stupid and convinced love could survive anything. Of course, Deshawn continues, that warm smile never wavering. We ask that you honor this decision and support both of us as we transition into this next phase. Polite applause ripples through the crowd, measured, calculated. The kind of response you give when you're not sure if you should celebrate or mourn. Nalani's fingers brush her belly again. He didn't mention the baby, didn't ask her permission, didn't warn her. This isn't a conversation, it's a press release. He just ended their marriage the same way he launches products, with staging, lighting, a captive audience. Her eyes sweep the room, searching for something solid to anchor to. That's when she sees her. Near the back, partially hidden by a marble pillar. A woman around Nalani's age. Dark hair swept into an elegant updo. Dress that costs more than most people's rent. Hand resting on a belly that's unmistakably round, unmistakably pregnant. Their eyes meet. The woman's face twists. Guilt, pity, fear, all of it there for half a second before she looks away. An older couple stands beside her. The woman's parents, maybe. They look proud, nervous, like they're waiting for something. Nausea rolls through Nalani's body in waves. The stage tilts. The lights burn too bright. Christmas music becomes noise. Deshawn's voice fades to static. She takes one step back, then another. Deshawn leans close, lips barely moving. Don't make this messy, Nalani. She turns. Heels click against polished floors. Someone calls her name. She doesn't stop, doesn't look back. The restroom door swings open under her palm. Cool air hits her face. Marble, chrome, mirrors reflecting a woman she barely recognizes. Nalani grips the edge of the sink, knuckles white, breath coming fast and shallow. The thought hits like a fist. He's not just leaving me, he's replacing me. Nalani stares at her reflection. The woman in the mirror wears a dress bought by a man who just ended their marriage on camera, lipstick chosen by his stylist, hair arranged to photograph well. Even now, standing alone in a bathroom while her world burns, she's dressed for his brand. The party continues outside. Muffled voices, laughter, jazz versions of Christmas carols that make her want to scream. 5 years. 5 years of trying to be perfect, trying to fit into a life that was never designed for her. She grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Her mother worked double shifts as a nurse. Her father died when she was 12. They celebrated Christmas with homemade ornaments and second-hand decorations and love that didn't need Instagram filters. Then she met Deshaun Sterling at a charity gala. She was coordinating logistics. He was the keynote speaker, tech billionaire, self-made. Forbes cover star. The media called him America's golden CEO. He listened when she spoke, asked questions, remembered details, made her feel seen in a room full of people shouting for attention. Or so she thought. The controls started small. Suggestions about her wardrobe, her social media, her tone in public. For your protection, he always said. People will come for you if you're not careful. By their second anniversary, suggestions became orders. He moved bank accounts for efficiency, put properties in her name but kept control through his team, installed cameras in the penthouse for security. Staff reported to him. Friends disappeared when he decided they weren't brand appropriate. Arguments never involved yelling, just cold silence that lasted days, cutting comments delivered in calm voices. You're lucky, Nalani. Without me, you're just an event planner with a decent smile. She stayed because she thought she could fix it, because admitting she married a man capable of this felt like failure, because somewhere underneath the control and the manipulation, she still loved the version of him the world saw. But that version was never real. The door opens. Deshaun slips inside. Not the public restroom. A private side room near the event space. He closes the door, locks it. That went well, he says. You handled it perfectly. Nalani turns. You didn't tell me. I didn't need to. This is best for both our brands. Our brands. Her voice cracks. Deshaun, Please don't make this emotional. He checks his phone. The statement is already trending. My team is monitoring responses. Everyone's being supportive. I'm pregnant. The words hang between them. She watches his face, waiting for something. Shock, joy, fear, anything human. His phone buzzes. He glances at the screen. Nalani catches a glimpse. A contact photo. The pregnant woman from the audience. A heart emoji next to her name. Deshaun's jaw tightens. We'll discuss that later. Right now, I need you to go back out there and smile. Show everyone we're adults about this. Who is she? That's not relevant. The pregnant woman, in the back. Who is she? Deshaun's eyes go cold, empty, the look he gives competitors before he destroys them. Sign what I send tonight. It's all already in motion. 90-day separation timeline. Clean, simple, beneficial for both of us. He unlocks the door, pauses. And Nalani? Don't ruin this with drama. You won't like what happens if you do. The door closes. His footsteps fade. Christmas music swells. Nalani slides down the wall, sits on cold tile, hands pressed to her stomach. 90 days until he erases me, or 90 days until I erase him. 3 years before that Christmas night, Nalani Sterling thought she was building a life. She stands in the penthouse, hanging ornaments on their first real tree. Deshaun works at his desk, fingers flying across his laptop. He hasn't looked up in 40 minutes. What do you think? Nalani asks. Red and gold or silver and blue? Whatever photographs better. He doesn't lift his eyes from the screen. She chooses red and gold, hangs each ornament carefully, creates something warm in a space that feels like a museum. That year, Deshaun's assistant posts their Christmas photo. Professional photographer, perfect lighting, caption written by his PR team. Nalani doesn't recognize her own smile. The next year, he suggests she wear navy to his company holiday party. It photographs better than what you picked. She changes. He guides her conversations with investors. Don't mention your childhood. It doesn't fit our narrative. She stops talking about Ohio, about her mother, about growing up with secondhand everything and love that didn't need a brand. Let my team manage your social media, he says, after she posts a photo he doesn't approve of. One slip, and people will come for you. She hands over her passwords. Year 3, he moves their bank accounts. For efficiency, he explains. My financial team can optimize everything. Nalani signs papers she doesn't fully read. Trusts him because that's what wives do. Later, she learns her name is on properties she's never seen, investments she didn't authorize, charitable foundations that list her as founder but give her no control. On paper, she looks reckless, irresponsible, like someone who makes bad decisions with money. In reality, Deshawn controls everything, but if she ever tries to leave, the paper trail will bury her. The memory dissolves. Nalani's back in the present, still in that side room, phone in her hand. The separation agreement sits in her email. 17 pages, legal language that sounds supportive but reads like a trap. She scrolls to page 9. There, a clause about mutual non-disparagement. Fancy words that mean she can never speak about what happened in their marriage, can never tell anyone about the control, the manipulation. The way he built a cage out of contracts and cameras and her own name, effective in 90 days from execution. Sign it, and she's silent forever. Refuse, and he'll use every document with her name on it to destroy her credibility. A memory surfaces, sharp and clear. Last month, her friend Imani Mendez stopped by the penthouse, sharp-witted legal analyst, the only person in New York who noticed how Nalani phrased things. He lets me instead of, I decided, Imani said. Money doesn't make a prison softer, just makes the bars prettier. Nalani whispered about the pregnancy, about hoping a baby might reset everything. Imani didn't argue, just handed her a small flash drive. My Christmas gift, a safety net, evidence templates, attorney contacts, financial protection steps. Throw it away if you never need it. But if you do, you won't start from zero. Nalani hid the drive behind cookbooks in the kitchen. Just in case, she told herself. Now, sitting on cold tile with her husband's separation agreement glowing on her phone screen, those two words echo differently. Just in case isn't hypothetical anymore. She stands, smooths her dress, stares at her reflection one more time. 90 days until he erases me. Her voice is steady now, stronger. She meets her own eyes in the mirror. Or 90 days until I erase him. Nalani slips out through a side exit. Cold December air hits her face. Snow falls in slow spirals. Manhattan glitters around her like a postcard. She pulls out her phone, types one word. Now, Imani responds in seconds. Where are you? Sterling HQ, back terrace. Stay there 10 minutes. Nalani wraps her arms around herself. The emerald dress wasn't designed for winter, wasn't designed for anything except making Deshawn look good. Footsteps approach from behind. Nalani turns. The pregnant woman stands 3 feet away. She's younger up close, maybe 25, pretty in that expensive maintained way, hair perfect, makeup flawless, dress tailored to show off her belly like an accessory. I'm sorry, the woman says. Her voice shakes. I didn't know he'd do this to you. Not like this. Who are you? Amara Whitfield. My father owns Whitfield Capital. Deshawn's we've been... She touches her stomach. 5 months. The math lands like a punch. 5 months ago, Deshawn was telling Nalani they should wait to have kids. Bad timing for the company, he said. Let's focus on the brand. While he was building a different family. He told me you didn't care about the marriage anymore, Amara continues. Said you two had an understanding, that you were already planning to separate quietly. He lied. I know that now. Amara's eyes fill. My parents pushed this. They want their grandchild connected to Sterling Innovations, want the media coverage, the social status. They don't care that he's married, was married. They just care about the optics. Secondary villain. Not this girl. The system around her. Rich families treating people like chess pieces, image-obsessed parents willing to destroy a marriage for status. Does he love you? Nalani asks. Amara looks away. I don't think Deshaun Sterling loves anyone except his reflection. A car pulls up. Black sedan. Imani steps out. She's wearing a sharp blazer and an expression that could cut glass. She takes one look at the scene. Nalani shivering in a cocktail dress. Amara crying in designer maternity wear. Deshaun's betrayal crystallized in two pregnant women on a snowy terrace. Get in, Imani says to Nalani. Then to Amara, gentler, you should go home. This isn't your fight. Amara nods, hurries back inside. Nalani slides into the warm car. Imani hands her a blanket, turns up the heat. Tell me everything. Nalani does. The announcement, the prepared statement, the pregnant mistress, the 90-day separation agreement designed to silence her. Imani listens, doesn't interrupt, pulls out a tablet, opens files, shows Nalani preliminary financial documents she's been quietly gathering. Look, Imani points to a spreadsheet. These are properties in your name. This one's in foreclosure. This one has liens. This charity foundation. Under investigation for misuse of funds. All your name. None of your knowledge. How is that legal? It's not. But proving it requires evidence. Time, money, things Deshaun knows you don't have. So I'm trapped. No. Imani's voice goes hard. You're informed. Big difference. He's been building your cage for 3 years. That means 3 years of paperwork, emails, digital trails. Every control move he made leaves evidence. The flash drive. The flash drive is step 1. But we need more. We need to show pattern, intent, that he deliberately manipulated finances to trap you. Through the car window, Nalani can see into the event. Deshaun's laughing with investors, playing the gracious, mature CEO handling his separation with dignity. Everyone believes him. Everyone always believes him. You have 90 days before that agreement locks in your silence forever, Imani says. Nalani watches her husband, watches him charm and manipulate and control the narrative. He's already written my ending, she thinks. He just expects me to sign it. She turns to Imani. I'm not signing. The penthouse feels different now. Christmas lights twinkle against floor-to-ceiling windows. The tree Nalani decorated with such hope last week looks like a prop. Everything in this space belongs to Deshaun. Even her. Especially her. It's past midnight. The event ended an hour ago. Deshaun stayed for drinks with investors. Nalani came home alone, showered, changed into soft clothes that don't pinch or perform. Stood in the kitchen trying to remember what being herself feels like. An email notification lights up her phone. Deshaun's legal team. Subject line, Sterling separation agreement, revised final. She opens it, scrolls. Legal language wraps around simple truths. Sign this, and she gets a monthly allowance, a small condo. Her silence, no mention of the properties in her name, no protection from the financial mess he created. A courier envelope sits on the marble island. Same agreement, physical copy, a place for her signature, a pen placed carefully beside it. He expects her to sign tonight, expected her to come home overwhelmed and compliant, and make this easy. Nalani opens the envelope, reads the worst parts again. There. Page 12. Mutual non-disparagement clause. She can never speak publicly about their marriage, can never discuss the control, the manipulation, the way he weaponized her own name against her. If she violates it, she owes him $10 million. Money she doesn't have, money he made sure she'd never have. She closes the envelope, unsigned, walks to the kitchen, pulls the stack of cookbooks from the shelf. Behind them, the flash drive Imani gave her, small, silver, holding more power than Deshawn realizes. Nalani plugs it into her laptop, files bloom across the screen. Evidence templates, attorney contacts, documentation strategies, step-by-step instructions for protecting yourself when someone tries to weaponize your life. One folder catches her eye. Contract vulnerabilities. She opens it, reads. Imani's been doing research, found patterns in Deshawn's standard agreements, a clause he always includes but rarely enforces. Something about equitable distribution of jointly managed assets. If Nalani can prove she was excluded from decisions about properties in her name, that clause flips. Instead of being liable, she becomes entitled to information, to control, to half of what he tried to hide behind her signature. It's a thin thread, but it's something. The elevator dings. Deshawn's home. Nalani closes her laptop, unplugs the flash drive, slides it behind the cookbooks again, places the legal envelope back on the marble island, unsigned, untouched. She doesn't move, doesn't rush to greet him or explain or defend, just stands there, one hand on the counter, the other resting on her stomach where their baby grows. A baby he still doesn't know about. A secret she'll keep until the timing serves her, not him. Deshawn enters, loosens his tie, pours himself scotch from a crystal decanter that costs more than her mother's monthly rent. You didn't sign, he says. Not a question. Not yet. He looks at her. Really looks. Like he's seeing something shift. Something he didn't anticipate. Nalani, don't make this difficult. The agreement is generous. I need time to read it properly. You've had time. I need my own lawyer. His jaw tightens. That's unnecessary. This is straightforward. Then my lawyer will confirm that. They stand in silence. Christmas lights blink. Snow falls outside. The city sleeps below them, unaware that in this perfect penthouse, a war just started. Deshawn sets down his glass. You have 48 hours. After that, my team files without your signature. He walks toward the bedroom, pauses at the doorway. And Nalani, whatever you're thinking about doing, don't. You'll lose. The door closes. Nalani stares at the unsigned envelope, at the Christmas tree, at her reflection in the dark window. She whispers to the empty room, to herself, to the baby growing inside her. Not yet. The elevator dings again in the distance. Deshawn's lawyer sits at their dining table like he owns it. Marcus Webb, Harvard Law, tailored suit, briefcase that costs more than most cars. He spreads documents across marble like he's dealing cards. Mrs. Sterling, this agreement protects both parties equally. Nalani sits across from him, Imani beside her, silent observer with a legal pad and eyes that miss nothing. Walk me through Section 7, Nalani says. Her voice is calm, steady, nothing like the woman who collapsed in a bathroom 3 days ago. Marcus blinks. That's standard non-disparagement language. It reads like a gag order. It prevents either party from damaging the other's reputation. Show me where it prevents him from speaking about me. Marcus flips pages, searches. His confidence wavers. It's implied in the mutual clause. Implied isn't written. Nalani leans forward. This entire document is designed to silence me specifically. Every clause benefits him. Where's my protection? Deshawn enters from his home office, power suit, fresh from a video call with Tokyo investors. He doesn't sit, just stands at the head of the table like a judge. Nalani, don't make this difficult. Marcus spent weeks on this. Then Marcus can spend a few more making it fair. Fair? Deshawn's jaw tightens. I'm offering you more money than you came into this marriage with. I'm giving you a home. A clean exit. All you have to do is move forward gracefully. As your forever friend of the brand, the words taste like poison. Silent and polished while you build your new family? Silence drops like a curtain. Marcus closes his briefcase. I'll give you two a moment. He leaves. Door clicks shut. Imani stays, witness to whatever comes next. Deshawn sits, changes tactics, softens his voice. Look, I know this is hard, but dragging this out helps no one. The media rollout is scheduled for 60 days. Clean separation. Mature adults. Good for both our images. What about Clause 14? Nalani asks. What about it? Equitable distribution of jointly managed assets. She watches his face. That clause says if either party can prove they were excluded from financial decisions, the distribution changes. Deshawn's expression hardens. Those assets were managed by my team, for efficiency. Were they managed with my knowledge? You signed the papers? Did I understand them? That's not my responsibility. Imani makes a note, doesn't look up, just writes. The sound of pen on paper fills the space like a countdown clock. Deshawn stands. 60 days, Nalani, then this happens with or without your cooperation. His phone buzzes. He glances at it. Screen lights up his face. Nalani sees the notification. Text from Amara. Please don't hate me for this. I never wanted to hurt you. More messages follow. Screenshots, apologies, desperate attempts to explain herself. Deshawn tries to swipe them away. Too late. Nalani's already seen enough. He leaves the room, phone in hand, walks to his office, closes the door. The messages keep coming. Nalani can imagine them. Amara panicking, realizing she's trapped in the same web Nalani spent 3 years trying to escape. The texts stay unread, unanswered. Amara's guilt isn't Deshawn's problem, just like Nalani's pain was never his priority. Imani looks up from her notes. That clause 14? It's his weakness. He rushed these papers, didn't think you'd read them carefully. Can we use it? If we can prove pattern and intent. Imani taps her pen against the legal pad. But we need evidence, documents, communications, proof that he deliberately kept you in the dark. Nalani thinks about the flash drive, the hidden server in Deshawn's office, 3 years of digital trails he assumes are safe. She meets Imani's eyes. I'm not signing his version. I'm going to write my own. Nalani plays the role perfectly. Daytime, she's the compliant wife, packing boxes. Sorting through 5 years of accumulated life. Designer clothes she never chose, art she never liked, books purchased to look good on shelves, never read. She visits her doctor alone. 10 weeks becomes 12. Heartbeat strong. Baby growing. She doesn't tell Deshawn. This secret belongs to her. The staff notices her quiet compliance. Report it to Deshawn. She's being cooperative, they say. No drama, just packing. He believes them. Believes she's accepted defeat. Nighttime tells a different story. While Deshawn sleeps, Nalani works. She copies every contract with her name on it. Photographs documents in his home office, downloads files from shared drives he thinks she doesn't know how to access. His arrogance makes him careless. He never changed the passwords, never thought his wife from Ohio could be a threat. Imani brings a small team, discreet, professional. A forensic accountant named Zaire, who can follow money through shell companies like tracking footprints in snow. A tech specialist named Keisha, who recovers deleted emails and archived communications. They work from a small office across town. Nothing connected to Nalani's name. Everything protected by attorney-client privilege. While he celebrated with investors, she encrypted the files that could bury his narrative. The evidence grows. Properties in her name she never knew existed. Charitable foundations listing her as founder with forged signatures. investment accounts showing her making reckless decisions she never authorized. On paper, Nalani looks unstable, irresponsible, a woman who can't be trusted with money or decisions. In reality, every signature was guided by his hand. Every choice was his. He built a trap using her identity as the foundation. But traps leave evidence. 30 days after that Christmas announcement, Imani introduces Nalani to someone new, Dr. Elise Crawford, director of Emerge, a nonprofit focused on protecting high-net-worth individuals trapped in abusive situations. She's elegant, sharp, a woman who survived her own billionaire husband and built an empire from the ashes. They meet in a private room at an art gallery, public enough to blend in, private enough to talk. "Your case isn't unique," Elise says. "Economic abuse in wealthy marriages is epidemic, but it's invisible. No bruises, no police reports, just control disguised as care." "Can you help?" Nalani asks. "If you can give us one piece of irrefutable evidence, something that proves intent to harm, then yes." "We'll back you publicly, provide resources, legal support, media strategy." "What kind of evidence?" "Communications showing he deliberately manipulated your financial identity, or proof his charity work is fraudulent, something that breaks his golden image." Nalani thinks about the hidden server in Deshawn's office, labeled with a project code she doesn't recognize. She's seen him access it late at night, watched him type passwords with paranoid precision. "I might have something," she says, "but I need to access his private network." Keisha, the tech specialist, speaks up. "If you can get me physical access for 90 seconds, I can clone the drive remotely. He'll never know." The countdown in Nalani's mind ticks louder. 45 days left, then 30. Each day brings her closer to either freedom or permanent silence. She marks the calendar, watches Deshawn's patterns, waits for the right moment. It comes on a Thursday. Deshawn's meeting with international investors, scheduled for 3 hours, staff attending with him, penthouse empty. Nalani moves fast, enters his office, finds the server hidden in a false panel behind his desk, plugs in Keisha's device, 90 seconds, data transfers, files copy, evidence downloads. She's just closing the panel when she hears it. The elevator, his key card. He's home early. The New Year party glitters like broken glass. Deshawn booked the Regency ballroom, crystal chandeliers, ice sculptures, a string quartet playing covers of pop songs in minor keys. Everyone who matters in Manhattan's tech and finance world fills the space. This is his rebranding. The noble CEO handling his separation with maturity, transparency, grace. Nalani arrives separately. Not by accident, by design. She's different now. The emerald dress and soft makeup are gone. Tonight she wears deep navy with a crimson detail at the collar, tailored, sharp, power that doesn't apologize. Her hair is pulled back, clean lines, no softness. Her posture has changed. Spine straight, steps deliberate, people notice, whisper. The transformation is too obvious to ignore. Deshawn sees her from across the room. His smile falters. Just for a second. Then he recovers. Approaches with champagne and charm. "You look well." "Thank you." "I'm glad you came. Shows we're mature about this." "Where's Amara?" His expression tightens. "That's not appropriate." "Appropriate?" Nalani meets his eyes. "You announced our separation at Christmas. Appropriate doesn't mean much to me anymore." Deshawn reaches for her arm, tries to guide her away from listening ears. She steps back, smooth, calm, not angry, just unmoved. "We'll speak through our attorneys." She walks past him, doesn't look back. Others watch. A few hold up phones, recording, photographing. This moment will trend by midnight. The cold, distant wife, the concerned husband trying to connect. Let them think what they want. 7 days. That's how long until the separation agreement becomes irreversible without court intervention. 7 days until Deshawn assumes he's won. What he doesn't know, his private server is empty. Everything he thought was hidden now lives on encrypted drives in 3 separate locations. What he doesn't know, a major advocacy organization is preparing to drop a story. Anonymous for now. High net worth survivor preparing to challenge tech mogul's curated image. No names, just enough detail to make people guess. The story hits social media at midnight, right as the New Year countdown ends. Fireworks, champagne, celebration. And underneath it all, quiet chaos. Phones buzz, people read, speculate. Deshawn's name trends. Not confirmed, just suspected. His PR team scrambles, tries to control the narrative. But the story is designed to be slippery. No hard claims, no accusations, just questions. Why did the separation announcement feel staged? Who benefited from the timing? What happens to spouses who sign agreements under pressure? Nalani watches from a corner of the ballroom. Imani beside her. They don't celebrate, just observe. Deshawn's face drains of color as he reads his phone. His team clusters around him. Damage control mode. He scans the room, finds Nalani. Their eyes meet. She sees the realization hit. This leak didn't come from his team, didn't come from any source he controls. His phone vibrates, text from his head of PR. She can't see it, but she knows what it says. Emergency meeting, strategy session, crisis management. Deshawn types back, fast, angry. Then sends another message, this one to Nalani. Her phone lights up. Call me, now! This is getting out of hand. She doesn't open it, doesn't respond, just silences the notification and places the phone face down on the table. 7 days left, and he just realized he's losing control. The media moves like wildfire. Anonymous sources, blind items, discussion panels debating whether tech billionaires weaponize marriage for image control. Deshawn's face flashes across screens. Not confirmed as the subject, but everyone knows. Everyone's watching. Nalani stays invisible, unnamed. Protected by legal structures Imani built carefully over 30 days of preparation. But she's not hiding. She's building. 28 days after Christmas, Nalani registers a company, Phoenix Rise Advocacy, a platform dedicated to protecting people trapped in image-obsessed, economically abusive relationships. The name deliberate, mythological, rising from ash, strategic wisdom. The filing is public record, but buried under enough corporate layers that only someone looking would find it. Someone like a forensic journalist, or an advocacy organization preparing to tell her story. Elise from Emerge calls. We're ready when you are. The evidence you provided is irrefutable. Financial manipulation, forged signatures, documents showing he deliberately destroyed your credibility while using your name for liability protection. When do we move? Day 90. The day his agreement would lock in your silence. Instead, you speak first. Nalani breathes deep. 30 days of secret work. 30 days of playing compliant while building an empire in shadows. It all leads to this. But first, one more test. Deshawn shows up at her temporary apartment. Small place in Brooklyn, nothing like the penthouse, but it's hers. Rented under an LLC, private, safe. He doesn't have the address, shouldn't know where she is, but he's standing outside the building. Security camera shows him at the entrance, demanding to be let up. Nalani watches the monitor. Imani beside her. How did he find you? Imani asks. He pays people to track me, always has. Deshawn buzzes again. Pounds on the door, makes a scene. The security guard approaches, asks him to leave. Deshawn pulls out his phone, probably threatening legal action, probably offering money. Nalani picks up the desk phone, calls down to security. Tell him this door doesn't open for him anymore. The guard delivers the message. Deshawn's face twists. Anger, shock, disbelief. He's not used to doors closing, to being denied access, to losing. He leaves, but not quietly. He shouts something. Camera doesn't catch audio, but Nalani can guess. Threats, warnings, promises that she'll regret this. 30 minutes later, his legal team sends another agreement, modified. More generous terms, higher monthly payment, bigger condo. All she has to do is sign and stay silent. Nalani's attorney responds with their own document. Simple, clear. Acknowledgement of financial misconduct, guarantee of her freedom to speak, equitable distribution based on true contribution, not manipulated paper trails. Deshawn's team rejects it within the hour. Good. Nalani doesn't want settlement. She wants exposure, change, a chance to stop him from doing this to anyone else. Day 90 arrives on a Tuesday morning. Nalani wakes in her small Brooklyn apartment, sunlight through windows. Traffic sounds below. Real life. Not the glass tower fantasy that was really a prison. She dresses carefully. Power suit. Bold colors. Hair styled but natural. Makeup that enhances rather than transforms. Today she tells her story. The interview is arranged through Emerge, a major network. Veteran journalist known for handling sensitive stories with care. The questions are pre-screened. Nalani has final approval over what airs. Her phone buzzes, Deshawn calling, again and again. 17 missed calls since midnight. She mutes it, places it face down on the counter. Checks her reflection one last time. Imani drives her to the studio. You ready? I've been ready for 90 days. They arrive. Green room, makeup, last-minute prep. The journalist is kind, professional. We'll follow your lead. Take breaks if you need them. This is your story. Nalani sits in the chair across from her. Lights adjust. Cameras roll. Someone counts down. 3, 2, 1. The journalist smiles. Ready to begin? Nalani nods. The interview airs on a Thursday evening. Prime time. Millions watching. Nalani tells everything. The control. The manipulation. The way Deshawn used her name to create financial liability while keeping true power. The Christmas announcement. The pregnant mistress. The 90-day timeline designed to silence her. She shows documents, explains how economic abuse works in wealthy marriages, how it's invisible, how it traps people using luxury as camouflage. She never raises her voice, never cries, just speaks truth in calm, clear language anyone can understand. The response is instant. Social media explodes. Deshawn's carefully built image cracks. His board calls emergency meetings. Investors demand answers. The replacement girlfriend's family distances themselves. Amara releases a statement through her lawyer. Apologizes. Admits she was manipulated too. 3 days later, Nalani hosts the launch event for Phoenix Rise Advocacy. The venue overlooks Manhattan, not as high as Deshawn's penthouse, but high enough, a space filled with light, warm colors, art that tells stories of survival and transformation. People gather, survivors, advocates, journalists, supporters. In the front row, one chair sits empty. Name card reads, Deshawn Sterling, reserved, acknowledged, irrelevant. Nalani never looks at it. She speaks instead about building systems that protect rather than trap, about creating resources for those who think they're alone, about using privilege and platform to dismantle the structures that enable abuse. Elise from Emerge speaks. Zaire and Keisha are recognized for their work. Imani stands beside Nalani, not just her attorney, her friend, her sister in arms. Nalani's phone buzzes during the reception. Message from Deshawn. One last desperate attempt. We can fix this. Meet me privately. I can make this right. We can start over. For the baby. So he finally knows. Someone told him. Or he figured it out watching her interview when she mentioned being 10 weeks pregnant the night he announced their separation. The message includes promises, money, public apology, joint custody with her terms, image repair, whatever she wants. Nalani doesn't read past the first line, just closes the notification, returns the phone to her purse. Some doors, once closed, stay that way. She walks through her new space, Phoenix Rise headquarters. 4 months pregnant now. Visible. Undeniable. Her hand rests on the curve as she talks with survivors who came to meet her. Share their stories. Find hope in hers. The mantra she's built echoes through the room, printed on materials, spoken by attendees, becoming a movement. Once controlled, now untouchable. Once silenced, now sovereign. She's not the same woman who stood on that stage at Christmas. That woman thought love could survive anything. Thought hope alone could change someone. Thought being perfect would be enough. This woman knows better. This woman built her own foundation, created her own power, used 90 days to transform from victim to advocate. The city glitters below. Deshawn's building visible in the distance. She doesn't look at it, doesn't need to. That chapter closed the moment she refused to sign his ending. Imani joins her at the window. How do you feel? Free. And scared? Terrified. But that's different from trapped. They stand together. Two women who refused to stay silent, who turned their pain into purpose, who built something that will outlast any marriage, any betrayal, any billionaire's attempt to control the narrative. The baby kicks. First time. Nalani gasps, presses her hand to the spot, life asserting itself, future demanding space. She thinks about her mother, working double shifts, raising a daughter alone, teaching that dignity matters more than money, that your name belongs to you, that no cage is pretty enough to stop being a cage. Somewhere across the city, Deshawn Sterling sits in his penthouse, alone, his board demanding his resignation, his reputation in pieces, his carefully constructed image revealing the reality underneath. Nalani doesn't hate him, doesn't celebrate his downfall, just feels the weight of what could have been if he'd chosen differently, if he'd seen her as human instead of asset, if he'd loved her instead of owning her. But he didn't, and now she's here. Building something that matters, using her story to change others' endings. The launch event continues. Laughter, conversation, hope growing in a room full of people who understand survival isn't the same as victory. Victory is what you build after you survive. Nalani turns from the window, addresses the room one more time. This isn't just my story. It's ours. Every person who's been underestimated, controlled, silenced. Every person who thought they were alone. She pauses, lets the words settle. You're not alone. Your voice matters. Your freedom matters. You matter. Once controlled, now untouchable. Once silenced, now sovereign. This was never just my story. It was ours. And we're just getting started. If this story moved you, if you've ever felt trapped by someone who claimed to love you, if you know what it's like to rebuild yourself from ash, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story that might be exactly what you need to hear. Drop a comment below. Tell us, what would you have done in Nalani's position? Your words might be what someone scrolling desperately needs to see today. Share this with someone who needs to know their power. You're not just watching. You're part of this movement. Comment, I am sovereign, if you refuse to be defined by someone else's narrative. Let's build this community together. Your story matters. Your voice matters. You matter. Subscribe, comment, share. And remember, once silenced, now sovereign.